Ironiq Radio Podcast. This is Mark.
This is Matt.
This is Long, the Exorcist.
That's our nickname for the week. And coming and rejoining the show is Wynter. Welcome back.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
You are welcome. We're glad to have you back. We said, we don't lie. We said in June when you came on the show you would be back for Halloween Horrors Month. And here you are.
Woo!
So, Halloween is your favorite time of the year.
Yes, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
That's why I decorated this week. Because Matt, my son Wyatt loves Halloween. So he wanted to decorate. And then
I saw the ghost and stuff.
Yes, and you know how he loves Ghostbusters, right? And he wanted a Ghostbuster costume, but online I couldn't find one that was under like $40.
Yeah.
So he found an astronaut costume he really liked. But then what do I find in Walmart yesterday?
All right.
A Ghostbuster costume.
Oh, wow.
For $20.
Oh.
Wow.
So I bought it. I was like, there's no way I could tell him no. So now I have two costumes. I might try to sell the astronaut costume on
just return it.
Where'd you get it?
Well, at Costco, but my mom probably threw the receipt away. I'm sure. Because I was with my mom.
Oh.
So I thought about that, just taking it back.
Have you tried going to Walmart and saying, yeah, I got it here?
No, because it's a brand I've never heard of, so I'm thinking they only sell it in Costco, maybe.
They can scan it and be like, no.
Yeah, and I don't have a Costco card.
X-Acto knife, cut out the UPC, put that UPC on the...
how you do it?
Yes, on the NASA
I'm sure
one.
with Halloween, though, I could get $20 back for it on,
How to scam or return.
On the Next Door app
Maybe.
or something, so...
Costumes are so expensive.
I know.
Ava was looking very high, and I was like, that's $70.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think so.
Well, Michael's being Goku, right? The Goku gi was $25 alone. He wants the wig. I'm like, no, you don't need the wig too. I could buy hairspray and paint your hair blue.
Yes.
It's like you don't need the wig. The wig is like $20.
He could be regular Super Saiyan. Just get the gel. Get the
well, yes,
hair.
That's fine hair. It's hard to spike his hair. Because I told him that we could just try to spike your hair and paint it blue.
You need ice.
Blow dry it.
The brand
Spray it
ice.
and blow dry it.
Is that how you do it?
Yep.
So that's what I told him. We'll figure it out. We have a few weeks of Halloween. I'll somehow make you look like Goku. We'll make it work.
Oh, yeah. That's what I told Ava. I was like, we're not getting the wig. Like, I can get a bunch of spray colors and
I was like, no.
spray your hair. That's how it's happening.
I mean, he just wants the costume so he can play with it after Halloween anyway. Walk around the house, kami and all that
I'm
stuff.
Goku.
Drive me crazy.
Well, in the last 2 years, it was raining, so
Yes.
it's not like there's
$40.
Yeah,
just sitting in the rain.
that's right. Yep, and that has rained the last couple of years.
No rain this year.
Hopefully not. Yeah. So how's y'all's week been? Good?
It's stressful.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I was in the office all week.
Oh, so you didn't work that hard.
I did not work that hard.
I was in the office, but two of my bosses had to sit down on each day from Wednesday and Thursday. That sucked.
Not that you worked that hard anyway, Matt. Let's be honest. When your new
I have my
cushy
weeks.
position there.
I do have a cushy position. Don't nearly have to work as hard as my old position. Not nearly.
But it is Halloween month, though. It's official. We're fully in October now. Like, we started Halloween Horrors a couple weeks ago, and we warmed it up with the Monster Squad, and then we talked a really good film last week, 28 Days Later.
Yes.
But now we're October, what is today? The 12th?
12th.
So we're definitely full on. We're a couple weeks away from Halloween. And so
19 days.
Yeah. Oh, see.
Boom. Down to the number.
Down to the number.
I was married on Halloween.
Were you really?
Yes.
That's strange. I always felt it was strange people got married on Halloween.
I didn't pick the date, though.
People think Christmas is weird. I don't think Christmas is that weird. Halloween just feels like a strange day.
Yeah.
To
Did you
married.
get a Jack Skellington tux stuff? No?
No. Wanted to do a ritualistic wedding, like tie the bride and groom up onto crosses, and then we'll have blood children dancing around the altar, and then the priest is dressed in all black and red, and they say you may kiss the bride, and druids will lower the crosses together, and then we'll kiss from the crosses. No, I have an active imagination.
That's
when it comes
pretty
to
badass. Though.
I know. I was like,
keep going. This is
I want a wedding with...
I want to be at that wedding.
Yeah.
Invite
You
me.
may sacrifice the
Rob
goat.
Zombie will oversee the wedding.
Yeah.
Rob Zombie.
He'll oversee it all.
Dracula plays instead of Here Comes the Bride.
Yeah.
Somebody have that wedding, so you can invite us.
Yeah.
There we go.
We'll be there. That would be cool.
at the Ren Fair.
If you don't mind volunteering your children to be blood children to be dancing around the fire, that'll be fine. Like freaking Children of the Corn or
Like
something.
in the Crucible.
Yeah.
Just dancing in the woods.
I think my daughter would probably be down with that. She's
And instead of
likes-
flower girls, they'll throw what was it, guts?
Yeah, dressed as Wednesday Addams.
okay, maybe not.
No, yeah, there you go. Wow, even Wynter has her limits.
So that's an interesting fact I did not know about you, Long.
Dancing and tossing entrails as flowers.
Entrails. Wow.
Okay. So Wynter.
Wasn't he the one that really wasn't into like horror movies?
Right, but this seems like I'm seeing to do the
No, I'm not.
It's
like an Eli Roth
He dreaded
adventure.
this month of October.
Yeah.
Yes. So what have you been up to, Winter, since last we saw you in June? Doing your shows.
studies, work. I have a new job. I start the 21st, so I was job hunting.
Oh, okay.
Watching American Horror Story. I'm all
Nice.
into that.
1984
Yes, it's
with
so
the two
awesome.
killers.
Yes. it's,
Yeah.
like getting really good.
Yeah.
Last week's episode was
Has it been a
Very
consistent show?
sleepaway camp.
yeah, it's very campy.
Yeah.
80s, you know.
Sleepaway Camp 1, 2, 3, and 4, which came out in 2008.
Jessica Lange is
Yep.
not in this one.
Nope.
Evan
and
Peters
Kathy
is not in
Bates.
this one.
Kathy Bates is in it, right? I haven't watched that.
Not this one.
No, okay, that's
No.
right. She's gone, and then
Evan Peters is not there.
I heard Marilyn Manson's in it this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Not. We haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, I don't think
So-
he's
okay.
okay. I think he's
I
supposed
heard.
to be in it, though, yeah.
Yeah. They showed a picture of, like, the latest casting news or
Yeah.
something like that.
that's Stevie
Wow.
Nicks in Coven.
Yeah, Steven X and Kevin.
So I guess
Steve
they have to have a
Nicks from
Stevie Nicks.
Fleetwood Mac?
Yeah.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she was in Coven and
Well, Stevie Nicks
The
and Fleetwood
Apocalypse.
Mac.
Which one's considered the best season?
Ooh, Freak Show?
I
Coven?
like Murder House and Hotel. Those
I like-
are my two favorite.
I like Coven,
I love
man.
Kevin too, but
I only watched the first season, and I kind of lost track of it after that. So
no,
It's
that's,
only 10 episodes per year, right?
It's really pick your pleasure, you know.
Yeah.
Like in Hellraiser, what's your pleasure, sir?
because they're
Yeah.
not connected, but there are some episodes that are connected with the other seasons.
yeah,
So
yeah, that's kind of a thing now with some of these shows. They're the same title, but they're not completely connected. Like that was the plan for Fargo, but did that ever come back on FX? And the whole idea with Fargo was supposed to be every season was going to be a different story, like True Detective. All three
Okay.
seasons are different,
yeah,
you know,
I haven't
stories.
seen.
So, yeah.
I haven't
I
seen.
don't think
it on
Fargo
there.
ever did come back. I know that was their plan for it too, was to be like different stories each season, so with different actors. So it's kind of become a new kind of thing on streaming television and network, or cable television, I guess, because FX is cable. You know, 10 to 12 episodes with different storylines, which
Yeah.
is the way
Yeah.
TV's going. So, but man, that sounds good though. But I mean, we can start the show. Download this where we tell what we watched and streamed lately.
Yeah.
And all that, and so American Horror Story. I guess
Yeah,
that's what
I've
you've been watching. What else have you?
consumed with that? Just trying to get in the Halloween horror movies, trying some new ones.
A lot of people do the watch a horror movie every day thing. That's hard to do.
Yeah,
sometimes.
that's hard for me to do, but I was trying to pick stuff that okay, let's try this. So I tried the Love Witch. That was absolutely, for me, it was awful. Like my best friend and I were texting each other back and forth. She was like, "I swear to God, this is a porn. This is going to be a porn." I was like, "No," because it's kind of like the '60s style inspired. That's why I was interested to watch
looks
it, but
weird,
it was
the way it's
I
filmed.
just couldn't. I was like, "No, we got to turn this off." And then
I
after
only
that, we
watched
tried
the
this
best parts.
horror hotel or hotel horror. That was absolutely awful too.
Oh, wow.
It was
Hotel
awful.
horror.
I was like, "This is."
It's on Prime,
How's
right?
that film?
It's the one on Prime?
Is it filmed regularly?
There's like different stories
Oh.
on it. And I turned that off, and that was a really bad night. That was last weekend. But I did watch Tales of Halloween. That was good.
That's good.
That is very good.
Been curious
They're
about that.
different stories. I don't know what year it was made, but it seems like because Adrian Barbeau is in it. So I don't.
Yeah.
I didn't even go back
I've
to
seen
see
it
what
come
year.
across on like Amazon Prime.
But it was
So,
very good. I
Have you
liked
guys
it.
ever watched that classic Vincent Price horror movie?
Vincent Price.
House on
The original House on a Hill.
Yes.
Yeah, I've always been wanting to see that movie, but never had a
A lot of
chance
those
to.
old Hammer horror films are on Amazon Prime. A lot of those are.
Yeah.
Amazon Prime, actually, if you really look, you don't always see it when you turn on your browser because they want to show you what's popular, the new shit. But like, if you
I hate their browser.
if you really look through Amazon Prime, you can find a lot of great old Hammer horror films on there. A lot of old spaghetti westerns, a lot of stuff that you don't see if you don't really deep search their browser. And that's one thing Amazon Prime should do a better job on is separating categories a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah, they put everything on one umbrella.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Anything else you've watched? Or
No, that's it.
we'll just go around the table here.
Let's see. I was so stressed out this week. I don't think I ever managed to do anything except for play a couple of games here and there, but nothing
Slacker.
new. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But, it's that week of anime premieres, and nothing that... Actually, there was one that stood out called... what was it called? But anyway, so there's the latest trend of anime right now is where like a gamer is transported into a fantasy world, and they having to carry over all the stats of like a uber powerful being or something like that.
Oh yeah.
That's called isekai or whatever. Yeah, but that's like the going trend. Oh, hero dies in the real world, ends up in the fantasy world, But the latest twist to this trend is a pro wrestler. A pro wrestler gets transported to this fantasy world, and this pro wrestler has a furry complex. So this fantasy world has like beast men and all that stuff. And he was about to get robbed by this beast wolf and his little sister wolf thing. And it's like this large character has a wolf's body, wolf's head, anthropomorphic and all that. He's going to try to rob this pro wrestler. This pro wrestler's like, oh, I want to hug him. He tackles the beast man who's trying to rob him, and he's like snuggling against his chest.
Oh my god.
He's like, how people act when they're around cute animals. More than that, it's not in the sexual sense, It's more like, oh my god, he's so cute, I want to pet him, So this pro wrestler's like, oh, this beast man smells so furry.
Oh my god.
And this beast man's like, what is he doing? What is he doing? Get him off me. And the pro wrestler has a grip on him,
Wow.
Oh wow.
And the wolf's little sister's trying to pull him off, pull the wrestler off the beast man.
You watch weird shit.
It's a comedy, so I was laughing my ass.
Nice.
It was so funny.
I don't know, but that is a fetish.
It is.
That furry fetish.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
They had plushy conventions or something.
Yeah. Furry conventions.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to
Hotel
one?
ballroom.
Or seen
No,
one?
the first time I ever heard of it was on I think it was like Criminal Minds or CSI
Yeah,
or
it was
something.
SVU.
Yeah, did we talk about this last time?
Well, and they
Did he bring it up last time? Did Long
No.
bring it up last time?
Yeah, and they talk about like a smuggle, or a snutting, or
I don't know.
whatever whatever they do, and it's like Detective Benson and
Yeah.
yeah.
What?
Sounds
Yeah.
weird.
So it was like this whole thing. I don't know.
They
I
even
was
made
like,
Second
what?
Life into an episode.
Well, I knew
Yeah.
that. I knew
Well,
that was an
there.
episode.
Well, the one that took me aback was the Brony conventions.
Oh, the
Yeah.
brownie.
It was like
Bronies are weird.
Yeah,
they are weird.
But that was like what, 10 years ago, 5 or 10 years ago.
It
I
feels
don't
like the
think
Brody thing has started to die. I've
Yeah.
noticed at
The
Compalooza,
Brony.
I haven't seen a presence as much of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The My
that was
Little
always
Pony.
kind of weird.
Yes.
I didn't
You know,
realize.
bronies. It's like it's a group of dudes that feel that My Little Pony has adult themes in it, which I don't know where they picked this up, and it's not just for girls, and they call themselves bronies.
Oh.
And they're usually, not to be stereotypical, but they're usually kind of chunky, glasses wearing, Mountain Dew drinking dudes. The kind that sit in their mom's
very
basement and play
specific.
video games. But it's true though. You've seen them at the conventions, and I'm like, okay, y'all need more life than to get laid. You know, that's kind of what you know. It's
But what do
those
they eat?
types.
I think that's the
Do they eat,
wrong.
like pizza?
That's the wrong stereotype.
But it's true though.
No, it's just I don't know. It's
Do they
like
come from Canada?
the way the show is written. It's not like it's what was it? The show has like a universal message to it,
Right.
about coming of age and all that stuff, and really the male fan base is usually the teens and later,
Right.
So it's
Well, at the tables of the conventions, it's always older dudes.
that's it. Yeah, now that I didn't know. So there could be that could be a subsect of the whole brony thing.
And there was at one of the cons, there was a brony panel going right after a panel that I was in, and it was pretty much those type of dudes walking in there to the panel. And I was like, okay, this is kind of creepy.
Any centaurs?
Centaurs.
So, but yeah, bronies.
Yeah.
We've given them way too much attention already.
Yeah. So, long is that it for you?
Speaking of centaurs, whenever you see a full body picture of Donald Trump, from the side profile, the way he stands, he does kind of look like a half centaur. Just look at it. You'll never look at him the same ever again. Because when he's standing up straight,
We
upright,
think that's random. I'm like, what?
like Donald Trump looks like a centaur, like a half centaur.
You
the way
have
he's standing.
fake news.
Just imagine, just imagine the rest of his body with a horse's butt, and he'll fit the profile. Disagree with me. Go ahead. You'll see it. You'll never unsee it. It's like, gosh, dang.
We'll
Okay.
be like pulling up on
It's
our
like that
Centaur.
Motar commercial.
This guy.
He really looks like a half missing centaur.
That's funny.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Anywho,
Yeah.
so I've been trying to keep up with the Halloween movie every day. So I watched Sleepaway Camp 2, which is basically softcore porn. Because
On
it's
Prime?
on Prime.
I gotta make a mental note.
Yeah, watch. And it's 80s boobs, so they're real.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are. They look real. I can't
70s.
tell.
Yeah.
And I did go back to 1974 and watched Black Christmas, which also has John Saxon, which is in the film we're talking about today. It has Margot Kidder, and it has I always forget the actress's name, but she's the one from Love Story that says, "Love means never having to say you're sorry," and she's like the main female protagonist in the film. And this film is the one that started "The call is coming from inside the house."
Oh.
This is what started this is the second slasher ever to be released here in America, like as far as like an American film, right after Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So it inspired a lot of your Halloweens and your callers coming from inside the house, like Scream. And then I went ahead and watched The Thing. I watched
With Kurt Russell?
with Kurt Russell. I watched Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. I always think that's a fun comedy
that's
horror.
fun.
And I have a thing for Elvira. I saw her whenever I was a kid, and she was on Comedy Central and Sci-Fi Channel, and so just have a thing for her. And my wife was like side-eyeing me the whole time, but she was laughing too, because it's like they keep focusing on her breast, and she uses her breast to open like this gate that has a chain in it, and she's running from the sorcerer dude. But it's real funny. So I watched 4 films this week.
Side-eyed you too.
Yeah. The only non-horror film I watched this week was Happy Gilmore, because I saw it was on, and I wanted to see Adam Sandler say, "The price is wrong, bitch."
Didn't you just go to a movie?
And I saw The Joker. Yes.
Oh, how was it?
I loved it.
Yeah.
You know what? It made me think, like, is Joaquin Phoenix the best Joker? And then I said, you know what? No one's the best Joker. There's 3 great performances, and we should just keep it like that. I don't want to think about it.
So, how would you score it?
I would give it an A. Not an A+, but an A.
Really?
Because I felt like it was a lot of build-up. But the ending's really good. I feel like it all comes together at the end. De Niro's in it. De Niro's great in the role that he has. And then the guy that plays Thomas Wayne's in it, and the way they link him in is pretty cool. I can see why they make a sequel, or how they do it. But it's worth seeing. I wasn't going to see it until I saw everyone talking about how they were walking out of theaters. And wouldn't you know it, there's a 9-year-old kid with his family right in front of me watching people's brains get blown off. And they're like, "Oh my God,
Rated
cover
R,
your eyes."
people.
And I'm like,
Usually these films are rated R sometimes.
and I'm like, thinking of Peter Dinklage, this in a like I'm watching a real life meme. That's what a rated R film is. You know, instead of that's what killing you is. That's what. That's it for me.
Yeah. I think I may have told you before. I'll never forget. Just a quick little tangent. This is when I saw The Passion of the Christ.
Oh yeah.
And there's these people up there. They have like probably Wyatt's age, 4 or 5 years old, and they're like forcing their kids to watch the
Crucifixion.
Even before that, where they whip Jesus. And I'm just like, and the kids are crying horribly. I'm like, what are y'all doing? Take the fucking kids out of the movie.
Yeah.
They shouldn't see that, you know? It's just like, and ever since then, I always think about that when I go to hear stories like that about kids in rated R films. You know, and I think there's some rated R films. Like, I don't think John Wick is the worst thing for a kid to see. But I've heard some of the violence in the Joker is quite brutal.
It is very brutal.
Kids, you know?
Yeah, it's not. I mean, the gun violence is like real gun violence.
Yeah.
Like John Wick, it's like you don't feel the
glorified
impact.
Martial arts gun violence. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is like they made it, you know, very like it's a drama.
Right, and they make John Wick comes across as more of a superhero.
Yeah,
in a way. Yeah, no, there is a difference, and people might argue there's not, but there is a difference in the types of violence you'll see in a film. You know.
Yeah, that's the reason why I wasn't really jumping out of my seat to go see the movie, because again, I've always mentioned this. It's like it's too many depressing things going on. I don't feel like watching anything nihilistic right now. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I watched a movie that had a happy ending.
There we go.
Somewhat happy. I've been waiting a long time. I talked about it last week. So I could not wait to watch El Camino, the Breaking Bad movie on Netflix. It's my favorite TV show of all time. So got the kids in bed last night. And Dad sat down and had a beer and watched El Camino, and it was excellent. It was the show itself was satisfying as hell the way it ended, but there were some threads that were left open, and so this 2-hour film closes those threads on Aaron Paul's character in the show, Jesse Pinkman. It gives Jesse a satisfying ending that he did not that he had a negative ending at the end of the show, but it was kind of left open, and everyone wondered, well, how could Vince Gilligan do more Breaking Bad? But the story was there to tell Jesse's story, and it was really well done. And it was satisfying. It didn't ruin the show. People were all like, oh, it's going to ruin the show in the way it did. No, not at all. If anything, it added to the show, and it gave Jesse's story a closure from his story. And I've always implored people are like, oh, what should I watch on Netflix? First thing I always tell them is like, if you haven't watched Breaking Bad, watch it. It's the best thing you'll ever watch. You know, screw all this new shit that's coming out. If you haven't watched Breaking Bad, watch it. It's the best 62 episodes of show you'll ever watch.
Does it pick up right?
It picks up immediately at the end of the finale. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, and the only thing that's distracting about it is Jesse Plemons, actor who's in Friday Night Lights, the TV series. He's from Texas. He's gained a lot of weight, and he plays a character named Todd. So the continuity, I could not help but like he could have put a trainer in. You know, these actors usually get trainers to lose weight for these roles, or maybe he had to have the weight on for another role. I don't know, but that was a little distracting because the continuity doesn't throw things off.
He like the.
You've seen him. He looks like Matt Damon.
Yeah,
Did you see that movie Game Night where he plays the creepy neighbor? Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's a good actor, but it's just like there's already jokes all over Twitter about like, what's up with Fat Todd? His character's name is Todd. And it's not funny. It's wrong. You shouldn't body shame a guy. It's not funny. But I did, as a fan of the show, find it distracting because he had gained a lot of weight. And I'm like, this is kind of weird, you know. But, you know, maybe there's a reason for it. We don't know, you know. But it was excellent, man. But if you've never watched Breaking Bad, it's worth watching, and then conclude it with the film that just hit Netflix last night. And I've heard it's done well already for Netflix. Quite a few downloads in the first 24 hours.
New subs.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So it was good. It was worth the wait, you know, because it's been almost 5 years since that show went off the air. So, you know, good stuff. And Aaron Paul is a really good young actor that, unfortunately, it seems like he's one of those TV actors that hasn't been able to translate to film yet, you know? Because he's done a few films, but just hasn't gotten that good role because he's really good as Jesse Pinkman on that show. So, good stuff. That's really all I watched this week. So I give you a hard time long for not watching much, but that's all I really had time to watch this week, too.
Yeah.
Was El Camino. So.
Yeah, I did see a bunch of anime premieres, but I didn't want to go all niche
Too
on
in
y'all.
depth. Yeah. Talk about weird furry things and stuff.
It was funny, so.
Oh, it's okay. All right, well, let's get into today's featured film. As Halloween Horrors 2019 continues with our Halloween movies this month. And
Fright Night.
Remember
that commercial?
Right.
Astroworld.
Yes.
Fright night.
So is the mayor apparently wants to bring Astroworld back? I saw that. I'm like,
Not Astroworld, but a theme
a
park.
theme park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, whatever happened to one in New Caney? Did that thing ever open? But
I don't know.
I thought that was a water park.
Is it a water park?
Typhoon?
Oh, okay.
Is that Typhoon?
No, that's
New Kinney off of 59.
yeah, going towards Magnolia and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's something else.
It
I
is.
I
It's
think it was
something
supposed
else.
to be like a water park of
Yeah.
some sort. I don't know. I could be completely.
But I do remember those old Fright Night.
Oh,
commercials,
yeah.
so those are-
Yeah.
And but so last year we did a Nightmare on Elm Street 1, and so we're like, well, let's do another Nightmare on Elm Street movie this year. But we're skipping part 2 because it's just not that good.
That's right.
And doing arguably the best sequel in the Freddy Krueger series, the Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. See, like my dramatics here.
Yes. It deserves dramatics.
It's a fun movie. When was the first time y'all ever saw this? Probably we were all kids, most of us.
I've
Yeah.
only seen bits and pieces.
Except for Long. This is probably the first time I fully watched it this week.
Right,
Because
yeah.
Long is terrified of Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
I saw it when I was 10.
You know the first Krueger movie I saw? Sorry.
Oh, yeah,
I didn't
go
mean to
for it.
interrupt.
No.
Was Freddy's Revenge Part 2.
Really?
Yeah.
That was the first one?
That was the first one.
Wow.
For me.
Yeah.
But anyways.
This was the first one for me. I saw Dream Warriors first.
How old were you?
10.
Oh, yeah.
That's what's wrong with you.
Yep. I can watch guts and everything flying all day and it doesn't faze me at all. My sister is different. She didn't watch that kind of stuff, so I forced her to watch Candyman one time. She had nightmares for a week.
Candyman's a Friday movie.
It is.
Mimic was a frightening movie to me.
Winter?
Oh no! I didn't think that was scary. God, so I saw the first Nightmare on Elm Street in a theater, like when it came out.
Oh, nice.
So I don't think that I saw this one in the theater. I think I was probably in 8th grade when I first saw this one. But I think I don't remember if I saw it in the theater or not. But I know I was like in junior high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Junior high school probably for me when I first saw this. I always remember this being the one with special effects. We talked about it last week on the show.
Yeah.
You're like, no, I think that's the 4th one. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure it's this one. And this is the first one. This is the first one where they tried to use like more visual effects and things like that. It wasn't so much straight slasher.
Yeah.
Like the first 2. They used some visual effects in the first 2, but they really went all out. Like you could tell this had a higher budget.
Yeah.
Because it all turned out really, Wes Craven had nothing to do with the sequel because he thought like, oh, it's silly. We don't need to do more of these. But the sequel was a huge box office hit. So Wes came back and wrote the story for this one.
Mm-hmm.
So he is involved in this one. So
And it was masterfully done.
So they put more money into it.
Why
Yeah,
don't you
was-
summarize it? Let's summarize the plot to give people a refresher.
So this has to do with the children of Elm Street. So the first one's about the parents, and they're jacking with Freddy's jacking with Nancy. This time he's jacking with the rest of the victims that he left. Their parents were the ones that burned Freddy. So Freddy's coming back, and these kids are in a mental facility, and they're getting haunted by Freddy, and they think it's this group psychosis that they're in, but really they're having these visions. Nancy comes in as a doctor who, after everything that happened to her, she dedicated herself to dream studies and is now on Hypnosil so that she stops dreaming. She basically gets these kids empowered to where they are in control of their own dreams, and she teaches them to fight back against Freddy. And John Saxon returns, and this movie's about their battle back against Freddy and getting him dead, controlling their dreams without spoiling anything.
Let's spoil it.
Yeah.
Just spoil it.
Yeah, so Freddy, well, no one's ever really dead, right? Freddy dies at the end because they have to get holy water and a cross and burn his bones in holy water. And John Saxon actually has a pretty good cameo in this one because it's not just let's just show up and hey dad. He knows where the bones are hidden, so he leads the other doctor to the bones.
They go to the factory.
They go to the junkyard.
Yeah.
He's like, I just threw them in there somewhere.
In a trunk.
Yeah. And I think I think the script is great. I mean, all the kids, you're vested in all the kids.
Yeah,
and I
very
think that's
good
crucial
group of
to a
kids.
horror movie. I mean, Kincaid has some of the best lines in the movie. The doctor's telling him, "Oh, your psychosis is driven by your masculinity, your sexual masculinity," and he's like, "Oh, so now it's my dick that's making me crazy." And then he's like, "Let's play hide and seek, Freddy. Where you at? So I can kick your ass, you pussy." And he's just this tough guy. And so all the kids, what's wrong with them, the things that the issues that they have are their powers. So Kristen, no one, believes her. No one sides with her. She feels like she has nobody. Yet in her dream, she's able to pull everyone in. And she uses that as her power.
Patricia Arquette's film debut.
Yes. Yeah. And she was supposed to come back for the second one, but apparently her co-stars say that they didn't want to pay her enough. The studio's like, oh, she didn't want to come back. She had a really good performance in this one.
Yep.
And she's a very likable character. And Nancy is really good coming back. I think she did really good. Who's your favorite of the kids?
I feel the opposite of that.
Yeah.
Watching this, I do agree. I think it is a good Freddy Krueger movie script.
Yeah.
I felt the acting was pretty flat, honestly, of the kids.
It's cheesy. It's 80s cheese.
But that doesn't make it acceptable.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I think
they show more personality than today's.
They do. I think it's not so much I thought the girl Heather Langenkamp,
yeah.
I thought she was just mailing her lines in this film.
Yeah.
I felt like, they're paying me to do another Freddy movie. I do think the kids were good, but I thought Langenkamp didn't do a very good job. I just felt she was really flat in this film. She's just there to have a familiar face of the franchise. That's how I felt. But I do agree. I think the kids did a good job with their lines. This has some really good moments in it. Some really good Freddy deaths in it, with his kills. In fact, this is ranked as some of his best kills in his movies.
Welcome to prime time,
yes,
bitch.
that's my favorite.
Which was written both
So
ways.
misogynist.
It was written with both the lines, but they liked the way Robert Englund did both the lines so much that they spliced the film together to make it look like one shot to put both lines in the film.
Yeah, he ad-libbed a lot of stuff in this film, didn't he?
Yeah, he always has. Even
Yeah.
going back to the first one. And this is the film where Freddy really gets his personality, because he doesn't talk a whole lot in the first two.
No, he doesn't.
And this is more where he gets his personality. But no, I agree. I think this is a solid script. And remember, really done. What was the budget of this? About $12 million?
Yeah, it was,
so
it was
really
over
good
10,
special effects work though done, because they were told by the studio they had to come in under budget no matter what. So they had to find creative ways to do the special effects.
They put all their money into the special effects,
using
basically.
puppetry, animation. The Freddy snake at the beginning of the film. They had to darken the film to make it look not so fake, and they had to throw goo over it to make it not look like a dick. Basically, that's what they said.
Yeah.
So,
That's funny.
and I do agree with some of the things. I just felt I kept watching it and thinking, man, Langenkamp is so flat in this. I just felt like she was reading her lines off of a cue card and she just was taking a paycheck. But that's
off a
just
teleprompter.
Y'all's thoughts on those same thoughts? Does that make sense?
Your thoughts on the Dream Warriors and Dream Warriors.
Wynter, what are your thoughts?
I thought she was good, but yeah, I can see like some of the lines were just like, like I have to say this line.
Maybe she wanted a bigger part, and that's what kind of screwed with her.
I
Hear that the director doesn't know how to direct actors.
This director, Chuck Russell.
I liked
Yeah,
King
never heard of
Louis.
That's a huge pass. This.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did The Blob, The Mask. He directed The Mask.
Oh, he did direct.
Yeah. Eraser. I liked Eraser.
So I guess he did.
Collateral.
Have some successful stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Girls Just Want to Have Fun. That was all right.
That was a good movie. That's a fun movie.
That was Madonna.
No.
That was the song.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
I could have sworn.
That's Cyndi Lauper.
Oh, that's right.
Sarah
some
Jessica
reason I thought-
Parker was in it.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I liked the movie. I thought they had very the special effects was totally awesome.
Yeah, really well done for 87. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I thought everything was really good.
Favorite
All the
death.
actors. The marionette. Okay, when Freddy Krueger came down and became a marionette puppet.
Oh yeah.
That was very.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you see like a Tool video?
Kind of.
Yeah. But so when he became a marionette, and then he was getting that one kid out the window.
Yeah, that's very kind of creepy as fuck,
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Takes his veins.
Yeah.
I know, that was creepy.
And then Joey can't talk, so he's banging on stuff.
That and the TV.
Oh, yeah, the TV.
Were my favorite. I mean, that sounds morbid. My favorite deaths.
What was your favorite?
Freddy's.
Freddy's death?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. They were really creative with the way he went out on that, trying to find his bones, and then they animated the skeleton.
Yeah.
You know, it just reminds me of Jason and the Argonauts, the whole stop motion thing. I just love stop motion. That's my favorite death.
Mine wasn't, I guess he didn't die, but I guess it had to get mentioned, the nurse scene. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're a tongue-tied bitch. but yeah, Joey gets
Poor
tongue-tied to
Joey.
the bed because like his one weakness is women. I mean, if Ass is walking by, he's just focused on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Freddy, whenever they're in that group therapy, he lures Joey away as the nurse.
Isn't he the Dream Master of the fourth one? I thought he was the lead. Is he the lead of the fourth one?
No, Joey dies. All three of them die
All
in
the
the
kids
beginning.
die.
I know he's in the fourth one.
He is in the fourth one, and yeah, all three of them die. But right before all three of them die, Kristen pulls in. Well, the girl that's playing Kristen, Tuesday
That's
Tuesday
right.
night.
She's the Dream Master. That's
Tuesday
right.
night. They pull her in, and this girl that they pull in is the Dream Master.
Yeah. See, I can't remember that one for some reason. Parts of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's an entertaining film. The fourth one is an entertaining film. Not to get too much away, but it kind of went into too much of the comedy, and then the fifth one, the Dream Child, they're like,
That's
let's make this
silly,
even more of a comedy.
I think Taryn's death was pretty cool. You know, she was a heroin fiend, unfortunately, and trying to correct her life, and but Freddy uses that against her, and pretty much destroys her veins with a bunch of heroin. It's pretty horrible. But it's creative.
She had the coolest transformation, in my opinion.
Yeah.
She turns into a metalhead with switchblades
Yeah.
and a mohawk.
I was reading that they during the scene, like, she really stabbed him, Robert Englund, because they got too into the scene, so she ended up stabbing him. Like,
Yeah.
for real.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, wow.
Did you need stitches?
I don't know. They didn't really go into it. They just said, like, all the things that you didn't know about the movie. And I was reading through, like, Kincaid, how he got his part. The guy who played Kincaid, how he got his part. He cussed out the director. And so I guess that's how you get a part.
That's right. Like, okay.
Yeah.
This guy's tough.
A lot of the boiler room scenes, actors were passing out and stuff. They had to keep air conditions in there. They fans full. Robert Englund kept getting really hot.
Yeah.
And everything. And they had to keep a medical doctor close on set because of that. So, you know, there's practical effects back then. Now they would just CGI them.
Oh, yeah. Here, in the green screen.
Yeah. There's no boiler room really there. We're going to pretend that it's hot in here.
Yeah.
You know? But the character, the girl who played Tara, though, where I just had her name, Jennifer Rubin, though, she was told by drug addict kids that they tried to turn her life around after seeing the movie. I thought that was kind of interesting.
That's neat.
That this movie kind of inspired a few kids. I mean, I don't know how many it was, but hey, if it inspires one kid, that's good, you know? So I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah. But she did have the coolest transformation. I agree with that.
Yeah.
The wizard guy was kind of a very 1980s
Will.
dungeon.
Harry Potter like?
Dungeons and Dragons. Harry Potterish, yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that's a polarizing scene.
Yeah.
Some people love it. A lot of people love it. A lot of people hate it.
Because with the lightning that comes out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he runs up to Freddy, and it's like it didn't even do anything to Freddy, and just kills him.
Well, and for some reason, I would have sworn, it's been a while since I had seen this, I would have sworn there was a scene where they all took him on, but not really. They kind of all take him on individually, in a way.
In the fourth, they
Yeah.
take him on all
Is
together.
that what it is? Maybe I do remember it then in the fourth.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Kincaid, he just owns Kincaid and Joey and Kristen.
Okay.
All at once.
so there is a scene. So I'm not just remembering
It's got
that
the
in my
weirdest revival scene. If you go back and you watch Dream Master after this, a dog pisses on Freddy, on his bones, and he comes to life from dog piss. That's his revival.
Well, one of my weirdest things about watching this is, like, you said that it is a pretty decent script, but there's also, like, Freddy does a lot of stuff in this movie. It's not explained. like bringing his bones back to life.
Oh yeah.
Freddy jumps in and he jumps from one room to another, and like that's all of a sudden he has all these new powers that aren't in the first two. You know, I thought that was kind of weird. It's like this stuff just sort of happens in this movie. I'm like, okay, why is Freddy able to do this all of a sudden? They don't explain any of it.
Well, I know
that?
they wanted him to be able to originally go into the real world,
Right.
and they saved it for New Nightmare
Later on, yeah.
on. But yeah, they don't explain it too much.
Yeah.
I just always assumed it's
It was
gaining
part of his
power.
powers?
Well,
Yeah.
gaining power from everybody's dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just always
That's-
assumed it was just taking.
Yeah.
that's fair, because if you look at Freddy versus Jason, his whole thing is trying to make people believe he's still there, because the more people believe in him and hype him up, he gets more
Yeah.
powers, and
Yeah.
his power
I
increases.
remember that Freddy vs. Jason. They added that in, so that was one part. I guess in this movie, you just have to assume he's just getting more powerful.
Yeah.
because especially the bone scene, it comes like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He senses they have his bones. He's like, okay, I'm just gonna make my bones come to life. It's like, wait a minute, it's that way. How can he do this?
It's like when someone touches your air conditioning. Huh, someone's on this thermostat. Let me go over there. Ah.
Well, maybe I'm assuming too much. I want explanation in my Freddy Krueger movies, so just accepting
Well,
kill.
the whole randomness thing you were saying, I think that's the way our dreams work, randomly. So
Maybe so. So
we just go with
deep.
it.
So long. You survived watching this movie, right?
I enjoyed it,
You have
actually.
fear of Freddy Krueger still?
No, not really.
Freddy Krueger is quite
No.
one of the most frightening slashers out there.
Yeah.
Just the way he looks with his birds and
Yeah.
the knives and
Yeah,
and,
slashers don't scare me anymore like they used to.
and,
Yeah.
and Robert Englund himself, the way he plays his part,
Oh, yeah.
you believe that this guy can really fucking be that evil, you know?
Yeah.
And he's hammed it up over the years at conventions and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
He loves being this character and being that guy, but he's really like a big sweetheart. You know?
Yeah.
People have said, that he's just the nicest guy, but he loves entertaining people and being Freddy Krueger and being that guy that people think is that scary. He's talked recently about he would do it one more time if they asked him to.
Oh,
if they
that would
did
be
do another
awesome.
movie
Yeah, he said he's got one more
before he
in him.
gets too old. Yeah.
I couldn't bring myself to watch when they did a new Freddy
Yeah.
or Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, yeah.
I did
couldn't-
watch it just for Jackie Earle Haley because he's actually pretty good in the movie.
Yeah.
But the movie around it's not very good.
The script and all
Yeah,
that.
it's just
It's
not
like,
very good
stop
overall.
changing it.
Yeah, I'll give Jackie Earle Haley credit. He does a good
Yeah.
job as Freddy, but the movie around is just not very well done. Yeah, it's really quick. It's like an hour and 20 minutes long, so it's not a hard watch. It moves really fast,
Yeah.
and that's part of its problem. Though it's so quickly paced that it doesn't have time to develop.
No.
But Jackie Earle Haley did a good job. I won't knock him on it. I think he did fine in the role.
We were talking earlier, Winter, Dokken did the theme song
That
for
was
this.
Dawkins.
Dawkins.
Dokken.
And I remember that being a big deal, man. The video was all over television.
Yeah.
Soundtrack tie-ins were huge though in the 80s, especially for big films. And this was a very popular soundtrack song.
Yeah, you can hear the screams in between power chords and stuff from the victims. Dream Warriors. Ah!
And they filmed like extra footage to use in the video and stuff too. Yeah.
I love that band.
I don't. I'm sure they're. Is this their biggest hit? Probably.
No,
Did they have something bigger?
It was a big hit.
Yeah.
that for the soundtrack, but they had others.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I listened to them like back in the day.
Mother. No, wait a
Like-
minute.
Let's
You
dance.
know, all the 80s.
Different D band.
Oh. Different D band with different metal band.
all the 80s hair bands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I lost my train of thought. You're looking up something, Matt?
I was
About the
just,
movie?
yeah, I think we've touched on pretty much everything.
I give it a B.
Yeah. We were talking pre-show though. Like, I appreciate this movie. I
Yeah.
enjoy it, but it makes you realize like some of this 80s looks like last week we did 28 Days Later. It makes you realize how freaking good 28 Days Later really is. Then when you go watch a somewhat subpar movie compared to that, but it's also apples and oranges. I agree with Long. I'd probably give this probably a pretty solid B.
Yeah.
I think it's a good, entertaining Freddy film. Definitely better than the second one, but not as good as the original though. The original is an all-time classic.
This is definitely, if there's one movie that would make you second guess if the first one was better or not, it would be Dream Warriors,
Yeah.
in my opinion. It's like, is it Nightmare on Elm Street or is it Dream Warriors? I think a B or a B plus is a fair grade for this film. You're not going to get. It's not going to scare the hell out of you. Might freak you out a little bit. Like, man, this scene's really jacked up. But this is definitely a little bit of terror and a little bit of comedy.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say
And
that. There's
fantasy.
some comedy.
And fantasy. Yeah.
Yeah, I give it a B.
So B's all around.
Bees all around.
B.
Yeah, I like it. I've always liked the concept of Freddy Krueger. We've talked about this before. When it comes to horror, I'm not as much of a horror fan as you are or you, but I like sci-fi-ish horror. And Freddy Krueger definitely has the element, fantasy, sci-fi, because he comes in and out of dreams. And I think that's why he's kind of my favorite slasher, is because he has that kind of fantastical element to him. And I would love to see them, if I know we get tired of world of reboots and everything, but if they could really do Nightmare properly and with a good script, I think that I would watch it.
Yeah.
They tried with the Jackie Earl Haley when they failed, but if Robert Englund gave that movie his blessing, it just didn't come together right. So they rebooted maybe they should do Freddy like they did Halloween, where they bring Michael Myers back, 20 years later. And bring Robert Englund back for one more.
That would be cool.
They did
That would be
bring
awesome.
Halloween back, though.
That's what I'm saying. They should do Freddy like that.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe bring back Robert Englund one more time.
Bring back Nancy?
Well, did they kill... Oh, what's funny is that she dies in this movie, Nancy, but then she's alive in New Nightmare.
Yeah,
So I'm confused about that.
It's
Did they do something to the continuity?
It's like a reunion for the film. Like they're shooting it again, or so it's like a set, and so it's like a movie. Like Freddy
That's
is
right.
happening.
It's a movie set.
Yeah,
That's right. It's been a while since I've seen that one.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Okay.
I
That-
So that
remember.
explains why she's alive.
Yeah, New Nightmare was a meta movie.
Yeah. They were trying to... It was initially supposed to be kind of
Wes
a reboot.
Craven actually acted in that movie.
And he directed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He came back to direct that one.
all the best ones are the ones Wes Craven had his hands in.
Hmm.
It's Nightmare on Elm Street, Dream Warriors, and New Nightmare. I
Yeah.
think, but top 3, and then maybe 4, 2, 5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
2's the one with Johnny Depp, right?
No,
One's the
one.
one
Oh,
with
that's right. He was in one.
Yeah.
We did that last year.
Because he
Two.
got
Yeah, that's
sucked in the
right.
bed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All the
Yeah.
blood.
That's right. It is one.
the blood tornado.
But I feel like there was someone that made it famous in 2, though.
And 2.
No.
There's not.
No.
It's so weird. We didn't talk
I
about.
vaguely
I
remember
forgot
that.
we were watching it. Lawrence Fishburne was in part 3.
Yes.
And when I saw him on
And he
screen,
gets cut.
I kept going. Morpheus is in this, or John Wick's the what did he call him in John Wick?
Oh,
The Bowman.
Bowman, yeah.
I was
The
like,
Bowery.
The Bowery.
Bowery,
guy.
yeah.
The Bowery King.
Bowery King. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that's cool. Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah, I forgot
Very
that
young.
he was in it.
Yes.
It's not his first role though.
No,
He
no.
did do some
Cowboy
stuff before.
Curtis.
He is Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yeah, Cowboy Curtis.
Yes.
Oh, that,
Yeah.
that reminds me. This is a news, kind of a news thing. That they're doing a spin-off of the John Wick movie.
Oh, Ballerina.
Yeah, like a female lead-led John Wick spin-off.
Yeah, it's in the Black Swan universe.
I need to
I'm
see
just kidding.
this.
Just kidding.
I don't get
Just
it.
like the TV show they're supposed to be doing, the Continental, but I haven't heard anything else about it, so I don't know if it's still doing it or not.
Yeah. What was that one that was with Dave Bautista and Jodie Foster that was kind of like a hotel for hitmen that came out last year?
Batista, Jodie Foster.
Yeah, it was a small release, but it did pretty well.
Huh, I don't know. I have to look it up. I don't remember. So
Yeah. I never thought I'd see Dave Bautista acting alongside with Jodie Foster's character.
So that's it for Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors.
Dream
That's it.
Warriors.
So we've got a little bit of news, and we've got.
I was like thinking, I was a kid and I was afraid of this.
Right.
Yeah.
You're still afraid long.
No, I'm
I'm
not.
gonna buy a
Why?
Freddy glove and wear it next week.
That's not gonna scare me. It'll make me jealous. I'm
They
gonna wear
even
it.
have the sweater
Yeah.
at like Spirit Halloween store, and I was looking at it's like $35
It's
sweater.
funny. The glove, you get the glove on Amazon for like $8. You
Yeah.
go to the Spirit of Halloween store, it's like $25. It's the
Yes.
same fucking thing on Amazon.
Yeah.
I was like, shit. But we got a little bit of news before we get to spooky stories to tell on a podcast. Not much. This news actually came out last week. We forgot to talk about it. Kevin Smith's finally going to make Clerks 3, which he had a script a few years ago, and he threw it out because the guy who plays Randall didn't want to do it. But I guess they all had a happy reunion recently on the Jay and Silent Bob reboot tour, so he's going to go ahead and make Clerks 3. I'm excited. I love Kevin Smith, so,
Yeah.
do one more. Why not? It seems like he can't get away from his universe of characters, but hey, if it works for him, it works. Hey, he's made a living off of it.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I'm excited for Clerks 3. Bring back those characters again. No further comments?
Nope.
No further comments.
So the long in development He-Man movie might go to Netflix as an original movie.
Okay.
It seems like Sony is they want to make it, but it looks like they're looking for financial partners to make it, and it could be Netflix, and that way it gets to be distributed on Netflix.
Oh, wow.
Which tells me that I read it. The more I read into this, maybe that's a good thing, that they want to do a high budget film and make a good He-Man movie. They just need somebody to back it with money-wise. So it could turn out to be good for everybody who's been waiting for this for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Friend of the show, Justin Corbett, he's waiting for a good He-Man movie.
Oh yeah, one that actually has many faces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He loves He-Man. So,
Beast Man.
So we'll see. And then lastly, I threw this news in there just because it's appropriate for Halloween. Remember the old Maniac cop movies? Really cheesy with the cop with his torn up face and he was killed. I know I've seen them.
Yeah, Maniac Cop.
They're going to reboot it as an HBO original series.
Really?
I'm not sure how it's going to work. He's just going to go around killing people for every episode.
Seems
for 10
relevant.
Episodes. Yeah.
At this day and age.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you could make it socially relevant, possibly.
Oh, it is.
But, yeah, Maniac Cop is going to get an HBO TV series. That is not something I would have ever thought I'd read in the news.
Wow.
But it's happening. So,
Maniac.
That looks like he's like, I want to watch that now.
Yeah, I would. What's next? A Demolition Man TV series?
It seems like the advent of streaming television, nothing is left untouched.
That's awesome.
Anything could make a comeback, anything we grew up loving could have a reboot or a television show based off of it.
That's cool.
Waiting for Gremlins.
Right.
Oh, Gremlins. Gizmo.
Which is kind of cool and kind of not cool in some ways. Because you don't need everything to be rebooted or remade, but there's some things out there that could.
I think there's some things that need to introduce to a new generation.
Yeah.
For sure.
Speaking about reboots, there's a second Black Christmas reboot coming this Christmas.
I didn't even know there
I
was
need to
two.
see that. I've not heard of
Oh,
that.
why does it have to be black?
Because that's what it's called. They rebooted it in 2008 with Harriet the Spy and the girl who played Gretchen Wieners in Mean Girls, and it was bad. His MO was he would take a cookie cutter and take cookie cutouts of people's skin and bake them in the oven and eat them. It was almost too gross for me to watch, and that's pretty bad. This one, I think it's going to go back to the original one where it's this maniac that hides out in the attic and slowly takes out these girls one by one, and then finally they're like, the call's coming from inside the house, get out.
Sure.
Yeah,
I guess. You know way too much about that movie.
I do. I know.
There was another Christmas movie.
Nerd. No, I'm joking.
Oh, Jack Frost.
Not that one.
Krampus.
Krampus.
No, there was another maniac killer, but he would go house to house.
Yeah.
It was like in the 80s. It wasn't Black Christmas. It was something else.
Think of it.
Silent Night.
Yeah.
Silent Night, Deadly Night. Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Didn't they have Silent Night 2 and 3?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A couple of them.
Okay. I remember it a little bit.
Now I saw Jack Frost and I was like, what the hell?
Sex with the girl in the shower with the carrot. He takes his carrot out and it's a snowman and he's like,
No.
Yes, dude, it's so bad.
It was awful. I was like, this is so wrong. I can't.
It is really bad.
I will watch some slasher movies and all the gore, but I don't know why that bothers me so much.
How about Santa's Sleigh? The one that stars Bill Goldberg, the wrestler.
I haven't seen that.
He's Santa Claus and he's killing people.
That's friggin' awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's
gosh.
playing the actual Santa Claus. And he's a Jewish wrestler. Too.
You ever seen Club Dread from the?
That was so stupid.
It's a spoofs all the horror movies.
Yes.
From the guys
I've
who
never
made.
seen it.
It's from the guys who made Super
Is it funny?
Troopers.
Yes.
Super Troopers and Beer Fest. Yeah, it's funny.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
a
from,
comedy
it's
that
from
you
that
like?
comedy group. Yeah,
Yeah.
they made Club Dread.
It's funny, but it's so dumb.
I like Beer Fest. That's hilarious.
Is it better than
guys are
Scary
funny.
Movie? You think?
I think Club Dread's smarter.
Yeah.
Smarter, yeah.
Yeah.
Scary Movie is stupid humor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Club Dread is smarter. There's moments in Club Dread where you have to it's really violent, but you have to realize like this is supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
So it's smarter, funny.
Kind of like Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Ooh, Shaun
A
of the
little
Dead.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like.
Kind of
Sean
that level.
Penn.
You got to think about the humor a
I
little
want to
bit.
rewatch that. Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
But that's all the news I got. So
Yeah.
it was a short news week. So it's time for spooky stories.
Your man died.
Who?
Robert Forster.
Yeah, Robert Forster.
Yeah. It was weird. He died. The news came across while I was watching El Camino last night.
Yeah, I thought
And,
that was weird because I just saw that
He's been in a lot of stuff. You know, he's a good character actor. Really good actor. And then, like, the scene where he appears in the movie comes on. I'm like, this is kind of weird. And this news just came out that he passed away. I guess he had brain cancer.
He had brain
He's
cancer.
78 years old.
Oh,
so,
no.
yeah. But a good actor. Has been in a lot of stuff. A lot of TV. I didn't realize how much TV work he had done.
A lot.
Over the years.
Well,
Did a
Hallmark
lot
movies.
of TV work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of big movie work. He's been in some things. He was in Jackie Brown.
Yeah, Jackie Brown.
Quentin Tarantino's film. That
Which-
might be his most recently big film,
Yeah.
other than being in Breaking Bad. Because he was only in like one episode of Breaking Bad, then he's in the movie. You know, he comes back. So, but yeah, Robert Forster, 70 years old.
You know, the one actor that reminds me of Robert Forster is what was the actor in the King of the Monsters movie? Chad. The main.
Oh, the
character.
guy from Game of Thrones. Oh,
I
And
know who
King,
you're talking
and
about.
King of the Monsters, the Godzilla 2.
wait. Oh, Kyle Chandler.
Kyle Chandler kind of
Yeah.
reminds me of Robert Forster.
Yeah,
A little
kind of
bit.
everyman actor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those squinty eyes too.
Yeah.
Same squinty eyes.
Yeah.
yeah. I can see that. So, yeah. So,
So-
we're ready for spooky stories and
Yeah,
on a
but
podcast.
but you were sharing yours.
It's a
right?
tradition to have a guest share.
Yeah, you didn't do
a
it
scary story.
when you were here that first time.
No.
Well, we hadn't started that new tradition yet.
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
But this is catch up though.
Yes. So
We'll
now
get
it's-
Wynter to share us a spooky story.
I have a spooky story. Okay, so I used to be in a paranormal group a couple of years ago. And we went to this, it's called the Palace Theater in Seguin. And we were doing an investigation there. Normally, we would always do a prayer circle before we started investigations. And we didn't for some reason that day. I think we were running kind of late with everything. We went in. Okay. We went in, set up. It was already like 11 o'clock at night, but we weren't to the point where we were so tired. Because, I mean, we go on until like 3, in the morning or 4. And so it was still somewhat early. And we had, so the stage is, it's like a regular theater, but it's really old school. So when you walk into the movie theater, you have your concession stand, you have, your bathrooms and what have you. And then you'd have to go into the doors to get into the actual theater itself. So the way it's set up is you can't really see lights from the outside going in. Anyways, we set up the grid lights, and the grid lights are basically if a ghost was to go through, all you'd see is like darkness. But like if you human goes through it, you see them. The lights are still on them. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's more blacked out as if it's a ghost.
Okay.
So anyways, we're setting up. I'm facing the stage. Everybody's kind of facing towards me because we're setting up stuff. And I see this little girl skip across the stage, and it's completely blacked out. And so I'm like looking, and I'm freaking out. And I said, I just saw a little girl like skip across the stage. And they're like, are you sure? And I'm like, I know what I saw. And like curls, bouncing, everything, just like I know what I saw. So I told them about it. They're like, if it's on video, we'll see it, right? So I'm like, okay. And so I'm trying to figure out, like, maybe I'm second guessing myself. Like, maybe I am tired. I don't know what's going on. So anyways, we walk out. Let me try to debunk this. So I walk out of the theater and I went outside. Maybe it was a light. Maybe somebody was...
By yourself?
Well, no, there's somebody else out there.
Oh.
But maybe a car, like... And a
Drove
person was
past.
going, and a person was going across the theater, but you can't see anything. Not even if a car the lights were facing the theater itself. Like, there's no way, because that means that it would have to go in to the theater, and the doors were closed. Mm-hmm. So, of course, the video didn't show any of that. It was like, really? I know what I saw. Anyways, we would normally do a prayer circle when we left the place, anywhere we investigated, and we didn't do it that night. So I went to work. Of course, Monday comes. I went to work. I'm in the bathroom and, you know, do my business, and I hear in my ear, I see you. Like, just a whisper. Like, I know what I heard. I freaked out. Couldn't put my hands up fast enough to get out of that bathroom. I did wash my hands, but I ran out of the bathroom. Nobody else was in the bathroom, and nobody was walking by. So, actually, the guy that was on the team with me, he was my coworker, and he's actually how I got into the paranormal group. And he was all the way down, and I was like, hey, did you yell in the bathroom? And he goes, why would I do that? And I was like, I don't know, because I heard somebody say, I see you. And he was like, that wasn't me. Like, HR is right there. And like, it's the women's bathroom. Like, why would I do that? I don't know. And I'm like in tears because I'm freaked out just because of what happened over the weekend and what happened in the bathroom. I was by myself. So I just kind of put it all like aside, like I'm going crazy or whatever. And he was like, do you want to call? Because the leader of the group, he was like, do you want to call her? And I'm just like, no. He's like, do you want to pray? Like, what do you want to do? I was like, I don't know. Like, this is so weird. It's so crazy. I'm just going back to work. So that was like one of the experiences that I've had.
Probably the last experience you ever had with that group. No.
No, I would bring stuff home from investigations all the time, and my husband would actually tell me about it. And
what do you mean you bring stuff home?
Yeah, whatever's lingering from the place. Like, he felt stuff, like, push on him. Oh. My dog wouldn't come near me. It was, like...
Yeah.
It was awful. I was like, my own dog won't come near me. So...
like,
She would stay in the other room, and I would no matter how much I smudged or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I believe in that. So, yeah. Fun times.
Wow. Well, I don't know how I'm going to top that, but no, it's not about competition. I just have a small story. It's just a small, creepy story. But it's spooky, nonetheless. So, for the sake of making it easier for me to tell the story, I'll just place myself in the story, okay? So, I have a friend named Brian who was going out of town. And he sent me a text one night, and he asked me to house sit for him because he's waiting for a package. And he doesn't want the package to be delivered or anything. And I was like, okay. So I went over to his house that night and to wait for this late delivery package. Mm-hmm. And it was like 9:30 p.m. And I was like, dude, where's this package? And I texted my friend Brian, and I said, this package is really late. How long am I supposed to wait for it? And Brian texted me back, and he says, it'll be there. It's just one of those late special deliveries. So shortly enough, about 15 minutes later, knock on the door. And I went over to the door, and I opened it. It's a delivery guy, UPS. And it was raining really hard. So the UPS guy was just pissed off or just didn't say anything. He handed me the package, and I was like, cool, my ticket home, time to go home. So I texted my friend Brian, hey, your package is here, so I'm gonna go home. So, and he texted me back, thanks. And the next day, I was at work, and Brian texts me again, and he says, hey, I got another package coming in, can you house sit for me so you can receive the package for me? And I texted back, they're like, dude, another one? You're killing me here. And he says, I'm sorry, but, so that the same night, I went over to Brian's to house sit to receive the package. And again, the package was late. The weather was storming again. And the UPS guy was quiet, as ever, just miffed. So, rang the door, or he knocked on the door, and then I got up and received the package. Now a word exchanged between me and the delivery guy. I took the package, put it down, and then I texted Brian and says, hey, your package is here. I'm going home. And, he wanted me to text him every time he got a package, so that way, he gets peace of mind. But he didn't text me back this time to confirm, okay, you can go home. It's like, that's weird. He's usually really good about responding. And so I waited another 10 minutes. I called, hey, Brian. He didn't pick up the phone. Kept ringing. And then I texted him one more time. It's like, dude, you're pissing me off. I want to go home. And then he texted me back. He says, I'm sorry, but ... And I'm like, okay, that's weird. So it was like, I called him. I just wanted to say, hey, can I go home or whatever? And then the box started ringing, the cell phone. The cell phone ring. Brian's cell phone started ringing from one of the boxes. And then I got a text back that says, I am home. That's my creepy story.
That is creepy.
And then the door started knocking, and it was the delivery guy delivering all the packages. Then they were all turned blood red because Brian was in the box. Ooh.
Okay.
So that's like, oh, okay. That's my lame story. Following Winters.
I hate when Amazon sends packages separately. Why can't they just send his body all together?
Yeah, I know.
Okay then.
I'll make up for it. I'll make up for it next week.
Weak sauce, man.
Yeah. Can't hit home runs all the time.
No, not all the time.
That's to make up for scaring Matt last week.
Which was still
That was
funny.
funny.
As hell.
So to continue with the theme, the phone call came from inside the house.
Hey, thank you for tying it together.
No problem. That was, man, you got me with the jump scare on that one.
That was
jump
funny.
Hilarious.
I was at work. I was like,
My dad used to always try and scare me whenever he told me the scary stories to tell in the dark story about the toe.
Oh god, that one's a classic.
Matt's face last week was classic. Oh, the longest gonna do. I would have snapped a picture right at that moment. You were just like,
He'd always,
Did it
you
scare
have
you?
it.
No. Or did you see it coming from a mile away? The jump scare.
I was like, no. When I was listening to it, no, I didn't know if that was going to happen. And all of a sudden I heard him and I was like, oh, that was funny.
I ran out the door and jumped in the car.
I was just like listening to your story. And then when you told about the funeral, like,
that part is true.
yeah, and then you said
Yeah.
it was true. I was like,
that's
Yeah.
awesome.
About the eyes opening. Yeah, that's kind of creepy.
Wow.
That's hilarious. All right, well, we're almost done. Let's preview next week's film. Next week we're going to be back at Misfit Toys. First time since the summer.
Yes.
We were there, and Daniel is having us back over there to do a live show. About 6:30ish next week, probably. We'll be there on Elm Street, Misfit Toys here in Houston, Texas. And we are going to do Army of Darkness.
In an age of darkness
May God have mercy upon your souls. Something's wrong. Something's amiss.
and a time of evil,
You shall die!
when the world needed a hero,
The swallow us all. Anyone to die!
what it got was him.
Groovy. You know your shoelace is untied.
He's a 20th century guy
For that arrogance, I shall see you dead.
trapped in the Middle Ages.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up. This is my boomstick.
Now, let's talk about how I get back home.
Foretold by a mystical book.
Within its pages are passages that can send you back to your time.
Forewarned by a wise man.
You must recite the words Klaatu, Berata, Niktu.
I got it!
Fulfilled by a wise guy.
Klaatu, Barada.
When thou misspoke the words, the army of the dead awoke.
Now he's got a date.
Give me some sugar, baby.
With the army of darkness.
You found me beautiful once.
Honey, you got real ugly.
Sound the trumpets. Raise the drawbridge. Drop the Oldsmobile. From Sam Raimi.
Oh, that's gonna hurt!
Director of Darkman. Comes Army of Darkness. They live. They breathe. They suck. Army of Darkness.
The Sam Raimi classic, cult classic, I guess you could call it, with Bruce Campbell playing Ash. A pretty fun movie. Arguably the best of the Evil Dead series, I think.
And arguably the best pickup line ever. Give me some sugar, baby.
And it ties into the movie we did today because there was a banter between Wes Craven and Sam Raimi. They actually stole a Freddy glove from this set and they put into the Army of Darkness movie.
Yes.
And then, I guess, feature Nightmare on Elm Street movie, they had stolen something from the set of this movie, of Army of Darkness. It's in one of the other movies. So, they kind of had a little thing going on. So, yeah, Sam Raimi and Wes Craven kind of messing with each other. So that should be fun, though, next week at Misfit Toys. Army of Darkness live. Come see us. We'll be hanging out there doing a live show next week.
Yes.
Hanging by the gallows.
With my boomstick. No?
Hanging
Okay.
from the gallows.
Probably
that's what
not
I'm
with a
saying.
real boomstick.
It works, And if you're into horror toys for Halloween month, Daniel's got a lot of horror toys out there.
Tons of them.
Come spend some money. He's a good guy. He'll work a deal with you sometimes and take care of you. And a good shop, man. We can't say enough good things about Misfit Toys here in Texas, here in Houston, Texas, over on the Heights. He's also got a little small store over at Trader's Village too. And the guy over there was really good one time. I went over there with the boys and he hooked them up with some deals. So Misfit Toys in Houston, Texas is where you'll find the Rebel Radio podcast next week. Doing a live show. Should be fun. So, as we continue Halloween Horrors Month.
Fright Night!
Spooky.
Wynter, thank you as always for coming and hanging out with us.
Thank
You're
you, Wynter.
you're always welcome to shoot me a text. Hey, Mark, want to come on the show? Sure, we'll make room for you. It's always a good deal. And so we're glad you were able to make it.
Thank you.
And talk
I
your
had fun.
favorite subject, horror movies.
Horror movies.
So, yeah. So we've done some horror movies besides just it.
Wait, but before
Halloween.
you sign off, what is your favorite all-time horror movie?
Halloween.
Halloween?
Nice.
Halloween is my absolute favorite. My number one.
She gave me a hard time about not liking it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't hate it. I just don't think
It's one of the highest grossing horror movies ever. 178 million domestically, 319 million worldwide. I did some homework today.
fucking nerd.
My ex's favorite was The Exorcist.
Ooh, 419 million worldwide.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
He's become my best friend now.
Who?
Yeah.
I'm a stat guy.
You're a sad guy. Well, good for you.
Actually, scary movies
it's 419 million.
If you count Resident Evil Extinction, it actually counts as like a top 5 horror film because it was at the height of 3D, and Resident Evil Afterlife is like 350 million in that ballpark. So but
That's great, man.
here there, yeah.
No one cares about the Resident Evil movies.
I know nobody, but it's like I'm just saying, since we're talking about
The first time
Money.
I saw that movie was when I was like 5 years old. I wasn't supposed
that's
to watch
awesome.
it.
Me neither. My parents had the VHS and I put it on, and I just remember boobs at the very
But
beginning.
really, Halloween isn't ultra violent for a slasher film. There's a couple of scenes towards the end of the movie, but most of it's just like build up,
Yeah.
But yeah, at 5 years old, I guess it's still kind of fucking creepy.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't watch it. I don't know. At 5 years old, I would have not been able to sleep that night.
Well, I wasn't supposed to watch it. I was watching it through. My mom was watching it, and then I was like, and then that's when she came and she busted
That's
me.
kind of how I saw parts of Hellraiser. My dad was watching. I was like behind the couch eating. I was in there. And he called me. He's like, "Go to bed." Like, okay, it's scary anyway.
Breathing.
Did I tell you, Wynter, that I proposed to my wife watching Hellraiser?
Did you really?
Sure did.
Aww.
I know.
That's the sweetest.
It's still fucking weird. I give a hard time about it.
That's so awesome.
I was like, "This is our movie, babe." She's like, "I don't want to call it our movie." She's not a huge horror movie fan. She'll watch them, but she's like, "You're supposed to propose to me on the boardwalk, or in the Woodlands Marriott Riverwalk." That's where she wanted. And I was like, "No, this is much better." I was like, "What's more romantic than a horror movie? You're cuddled up with the person next to you because you're kind of freaked out, and it's like, you're snuggling together, and then what better time to pull out that ring and say, 'Will you marry me?' Whenever Hellraiser's throwing a bunch of hooks into people and ripping them
She
apart."
regrets it every day.
The world according to Matt.
Yes,
She's still there.
she's still there.
Yeah.
She-
So I guess it worked.
She's
somehow.
still there.
Yeah.
2 kids later. Yeah.
3.
But she secretly thinks, what
3
the
kids.
fuck am I doing?
When did you have a 3rd kid?
2 years ago.
Really?
When did you have a third kid?
When did the
Oh,
third
just
one
yesterday we
come from?
dropped them off.
I've always seen the 2 boys.
Don't worry,
but
I
I've never
feel the
seen
same
third.
way. Every once in a while.
You're like,
Where did
what
the
the
Dad
third
walks out the door. Do I have all? Oh, there's one more inside.
Yeah. 1, 2, 5. Okay.
Home Alone 4.
Home Alone 4.
But that's it.
That is
Thank you for listening. Go to the RebelRadioPodcast.com. We're on all apps, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. And thanks again, Wynter, for coming and hanging out. That's it. This has been Mark.
This has been Matt.
This is Long the Exorcist. Repent.
Can you top that one?
And Wynter.
Hey, that works.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Thank you as always for listening. Remember, just go there and
do it.
Wynter the Corpse Bride.
Sam Jones, Flash Gordon, and this is Rebel Radio Podcast.